the road, all now peering down at them curiously. She felt her cheeks flush as she realized her skirt had ended up around her waist, and she scrabbled to pull it down again. Once reassured she was decent once more, she checked herself for damage. Her right knee was a bit sore, her left elbow badly scraped, and one of the nails on her left hand broken, but otherwise, she seemed to be all right. She transferred her attention back to the man she had hit, who was resting back on his elbows on the pavement. By now, the smile on his face had broadened. She did her best to chase away her blushes, but wasn't completely successful. "I think I'm fine, thanks. Your body broke my fall." Her eyes contemplated his body for a few moments, rather liking what she saw. He looked as if he were around her age, maybe a year or two older, say 30 or so. And he clearly looked after himself. His shoulders were broad, his chest strong, and she had already felt his hard stomach muscles for herself. His tanned face was classically handsome, and his bright eyes strangely magnetic. In spite of the circumstances, she felt a distinct shiver of attraction.
"Well, I'm glad I did."
With an athletic movement, he climbed to his feet, grimacing slightly as he straightened up, rubbing his side. After a few seconds, he bent towards her and offered her his hands.
"Here, can I help you up?"
Debbie caught hold of his hands and let him help her to her feet. She winced as she put weight onto her right leg and gave a little squeak as she straightened her left arm. Her elbow worked, but it hurt a lot. She took a better look at it and saw it running with fresh blood where contact with the road surface had scraped away a big patch of skin. She was searching for a tissue in her pocket when he handed her a clean, white handkerchief.
"Here, take this. It's clean, I promise."
He pressed it into her hand.
"I took it out of the suitcase only this morning."
Debbie took it gratefully as the bus driver appeared beside them, a sympathetic expression on his face.
"Are you all right, love?"
Debbie nodded.
"I saw the whole thing. There wasn't anything you could do. This gentleman just walked right out in front of you. If you need a witness statement, you can get me at the bus company. My badge number is CAM 3276.
"Thank you very much, but I'm fine. Just a few scratches and a bruise or two." As she spoke, she felt fingers on her elbow, and she let the man with the brown eyes take over bandaging her cuts. As he did so, she heard him explain to the bus driver,
"I've already told her it was all my fault. Completely. I've come over from Italy, and I wasn't concentrating." "All right, then. Well, I'm glad you're both okay."
The bus driver looked relieved, and Debbie was quick to thank him for his concern. As the bus full of people set off again, and the two pedestrian onlookers followed their example, Debbie found herself alone with the brown-eyed man. As he finished tying a knot securing the makeshift bandage, Debbie couldn't help noticing how neatly he had done it. "Thank you so much. That looks great. Are you a first aider?" He smiled again. It lit up his face.
"Actually, I'm a doctor, and I'm glad there aren't any trained nurses watching. I've never been very good at bandaging, and I'm sure I could have done it better."
He glanced down at her knee.
"Want me to take a look at that?"
Without waiting for a reply, he crouched down, and she felt his hands on her skin. She found herself looking down on the top of his head as he surveyed the damage.
"Steady yourself against me and try bending your leg for me, would you?"
She did as ordered, resting her hands on his shoulders, and, although the knee hurt a bit as she moved it, she could feel that it wasn't too bad. The doctor agreed.
"Just a bit of bruising, I'm glad to say. Take a couple of painkillers when you get home, and it should be fine by tomorrow. Just a bit stiff and sore for a day or two, I expect."
He stood up again and stretched out his hand.
"By the way, my name's Pierluigi Massino. I'm very pleased to meet you, although I apologize once again for the circumstances."
Debbie took his hand and shook it formally. "I'm Deborah Watersons. Everybody calls me Debbie. Thank you so much."
"For knocking you off your bike and almost under a bus."
He was smiling, and she found herself smiling back. "That was an accident. No, I mean thank you for bandaging my cuts and for breaking my fall."
"That was the least I could do under the circumstances."
"Are you Italian? Your English is fantastic." It really was. She saw him nod to acknowledge the compliment.
"Yes, I'm Italian, but I did my medical training here in the UK, so I've had to learn to speak your language reasonably fluently. In fact, I'm over this summer for a course at King's, here in Cambridge."
"So you'll be here for a while?" For some reason, Debbie knew that this was important.